So you guys, I want to show you how you can turn all of those materials into a really cool finished product. So what this is a box of wine. So I'm kind of a wine enthusiast, maybe not the most knowledgeable one, but a bit of one. And I've noticed that lately boxed wines have been getting better and better and more popular and more popular. So one of the brands of boxed wine that we drink, and this is just one, I'm not recommending this wine specifically, I'm just saying that it comes in a wood box. So I'm gonna reuse these boxes, which are from wine that we drank anyway, and make something really cool for parties out of it. So this is a box of wine, and most boxes of wine have, well, all boxes of wine that I've ever had have a bladder inside of them that's full of the wine, and they all have the same kind of tap. So this would be reusable for any kind of boxed wine if you just want to make it fancier at a party. So what you would do, you would take off this sticker and cover this. Actually, I would cut this handle off because I like the handle, but I think that I want something nicer on my finished product, okay? So I'm gonna take this box of wine and just some regular chalkboard paint, doesn't matter what brand, this is just whatever I picked up at Home Depot. Obviously it's been used before, well loved. Take some chalkboard paint and paint the box of wine. Okay, so rather than make you watch me do that, I have a box here that I already painted. See, I cut off the handle here, and this box is already painted with chalkboard paint. Doesn't take anything special, just paint the entire outside with the chalkboard paint. And once you do that, now you can label this however you want. And if you do enough chalkboard paint on it, maybe even wax it, then you can probably reuse it and like relabel it with different kinds of wine. It doesn't have to be a sealed and finished product. So what I'm gonna do here, excuse me, I have some new transfers that I got. This is from, let me show you. This is from the Build a Drink transfer. And this transfer, I already cut it up, but it's super cool. It's got glasses that you can use, and look, there are fillings for the glasses, so you can like put a colored filling in. There are all kinds of garnishes here, and then there are the words for mixed drinks, for champagne, for wine, all kinds of things that you might want. So these would be really cool for chalkboards, or I think for this project. So what I'm gonna do is take I cut off what I want. I'm gonna label this like Chardonnay, and I'm gonna use two colors. I'm gonna use white for the wording and the outside of the glass, and I'm gonna use a little bit of a color for the Chardonnay because Chardonnay isn't pure white. So first what I'm gonna do, and this is what I would do with any new transfer, is I like to do what's called fuzzing them. So you take the transfer and you take it off the backing. This one's gonna be fidgety. There we go. You take it off the backing, and instead of sticking it straight to your project, just stick it down a couple times to a towel or a rag or something, just to make it so it's not so super sticky. And that helps to keep things like, I've done vinyl stencils before, and it's much harder than this. And when I did it, I actually pulled stain off of wood because there was no way to do what I'm doing right now. So you take this, you fuzz your transfer. So I just pressed it 3 times onto a clean rag like that. And then you guys, this is so super simple. Just pick where you want your transfer. So I'm gonna put mine right here. So there's my glass, right? And you smooth it down, make sure there are no bubbles in it. And I'm gonna take, I said white chalk paste. So this is a brand new white. You guys, I go through so much white chalk paste. So I think that's the most popular color, and there's definitely a reason. So open up my chalk paste. There we go. And this is how simple it is. Here's my squeegee. You take the paste, just take a little bit there, and put it over the transfer. And unlike doing, I've worked with, like I said, I've worked with vinyl stencils before. Unlike those, this doesn't bleed like those do. Those required a lot of special sealing to keep them from bleeding. And like I said, you can fuzz the transfer like I did, and everything's fine. So literally you just scrape this off, right? Scrape it off. And then I'm gonna put my leftover back in my container, right? And then you pull off your transfer. Ta-da! And there's my wine glass. Isn't that awesome? So I'm gonna do the lettering in the same color. I love this project so much because it's a nice way to take like any kind of boxed wine and just make it a little bit classier for your party, right? And because we use, like I said, because we use chalkboard paint on this, you should be able to erase and reuse the same box if you don't seal it. So again, it's the same thing. You just cover the stencil, get it all in there, make sure, there we go, and get that right off of there. Swoop. You just scrape off and see how little paste, whoops, that actually uses. I'm gonna show you, you can fix that right up. Seriously, it's that easy. Look at that. If you ever have an oopsie like that, you can just take a damp rag after you finish with your transfer and just wipe it off before it dries. Or like on a chalkboard, look, I made a bigger mess. I'm getting good at this, huh? So here we go. There's my wording. It's not perfect, but I kind of like that it has the little rustic look to it, right? I'm gonna take a little rag and just clear off my oops. Look at that. And just clear it off. It's wood, so it's not like a chalkboard, so it's not as easy as it would be on a chalkboard, but look, it came off. So there's my wording. And next we will put some wine in the wine glass. Okay, so this is dry now, and I've already fuzzed our transfer. So what's important here is that you get it, just line it up. So what do you think? That looks good, right? That looks good. So don't press that down too hard because you don't want to take up what you've already done. And this is just a subtle color difference. I'm using custard here because to me, this looks more like the color of Chardonnay than the white does. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this, and it's the same thing, just use it, whoops, just came up a little bit, just smooth it back down. I was not aggressive enough with my smoothing in my attempt not to pull up my first transfer. But one of the benefits of fuzzing is, like I said, it takes some of the sticky off. So it doesn't take enough sticky off that you can't use it, but it just takes a little bit off so that you can not mess up your original design. So that's it. I'm gonna put this back into the jar. We'll put this off to the side. And are you ready? Let's see what happened. Whoop. And now my wine is in the glass. So to finish this project, and I'm not gonna do that right now, I just wanted to show you the chalking part of it mainly. To finish this project, I would put a nice rope handle in here, put the bottom back on, and then at your next party, you can buy Chardonnay in a box and put this on here. And like I said, if you wanted to use it, reuse it instead of sealing it, you could wax this ahead of time and make sure that your chalkboard paint is on nice and thick, give it a little wax, and it should be reusable for you. So this for me, I drink Chardonnay a lot, so I'm probably not gonna seal it. So anyway, that's it. Now it's a fancy container that you can use for boxed wine in parties and just make it look a little bit more upscale. Isn't that cool? And I did it all with Couture and things I already had around the house, so it was super inexpensive. That is my project. I hope you guys had fun, and I hope you have fun if you try to make this yourself. So thank you so much for joining my community. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to share more of these videos with you in the future.